All right, let's do this.
It pains me to admit this, but it is true. Lookism circles and Looksmaxxers have become the new dating coaches. You know, this used to be a niche community. It was nothing like now. Even only 5 years ago, like, nobody would even know what the word mug meant. It was just a term we were using on obscure forums and chat rooms. But just like everything that has been popularized and gone mainstream, Lookism has been tainted also. Looksmaxxers have become what PUAs were back then. Orthodox PUAs, you know, old school PUAs transitioned into masculinity, alpha male stuff, right? So the old traditional PUAs are pretty much that. Now they split into two branches. First, you know, the alpha male group, and now Looksmaxxers, sadly and unfortunately. Remember how we used to mock PUAs for saying anybody can become an 8 by hitting the gym and holding frame. Now it is Looksmaxxers saying that. How are they any different than PUAs? I leave that to you.
You have to work on the big three, which is money, muscles, and game.
Is there anything for my face though? Let's say your face.
If you listen, any man, if you go to the gym,
don't cut me off. Don't cut me off. Just
if you go to the gym, okay, and you take care of yourself,
one thing, man.
Any man could get to at least a 7 out of 10.
You'll probably think that your attractiveness is completely controlled by genetics and that you'll never benefit from pretty privilege. Attractive men have more friends, they have more access to women. Attractive men even out-earn uglier men. So today I'm gonna show you how to alter your face physically to become more attractive in just 7 steps. By the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what to do and how to do it to increase your physical attractiveness by at least 5 points in the attractive scale. In this specific scent, if you buy the bundle, you'll get the fragrance, you're gonna get a solid cologne with the same scent so you can carry it on a day-to-day basis. You're also gonna get body lotion because it's important to have your skin hydrated to make the scent last longer, and a body spray. You're gonna get all of that in a bundle for 50% off only for the next few days. If you guys wanna check it out, it'll be linked down below.
All of you watching can go from an average 4 out of 10 guy to an 8 out of 10 with no surgery.
You know, it was inevitable that it would come to this. Inevitable cycle of life. This is just inexorable, unavoidable result of people following the money. People will always follow the money. I am telling you this now, in its current situation, Lookism community is nearly identical to PUA in its early stages. First, slowly gaining popularity, after that going mainstream with the help of different factors, and then you have multiple bad faith actors jumping in and trying to cash in on it. It had started back in the day. This community started as a reaction to PUA, right? A small group of disgruntled men realizing that the game is BS and it is all about looks. Now you have people selling courses on how to become a chat. I mean, you have schools of mugging. Oh bro, just join us and we are gonna teach you how to become a mugger. And those 15 years old, 16 years old kids who register with their parents' cards don't know any better. I mean, let me show you this. I have gotten this from a viewer. Check this out, guys. This is the frame they use to scam you. What is your opinion on dudes like Chatify on YouTube where it says, with an unlimited budget for plastic surgery, anybody can become an 8? I mean, guys, of course he's gonna say that. Cause nothing is separated easier than a fool and his money. Nothing. If you believe that surgeries can make you an 8 out of 10, no matter how ugly you are gonna pay him. But the reality is, surgeries aren't done on a Photoshop canvas. They are done on operating tables. Any plastic surgeon will tell you that. Any plastic surgeon with decency. If you go to Richardson, you might get a different answer. You guys remember Richardson, right? Shout out to Richardson.
He did not resuspend the mentalis muscle correctly. I have liptosis now. I'm showing a lot of lower teeth. And I feel I was scammed.
But you go to any proper surgeon and you will get told this, like, it doesn't work like that. A bunch of surgeries and you are gonna become a chat. No, bruh, it doesn't work like that. This ain't some character creation section in a video game. First, you are gonna get uncanny results. Every new layer of surgery is gonna mess with how natural you are gonna look. Sometimes results won't mesh well together. The idea might be okay in theory, but how is it gonna play out? How is it gonna look in real life? But of course, if you believe the notion that anybody can become an 8 with enough surgeries, you will pay him. to give you a list of surgeries.
Okay with it, because people, like I said, people do with their face whatever they want to do, and people do with their money whatever they want to do. But if you want to hear my honest opinion, before you do it, I'll give it to you, and I'm not gonna lie it. I'm not gonna be one of those friends or family members that like you would look at your face, you look like Frankenstein because after you did like 500 million surgeries in your face, and still look at you and be like, oh my god, you look beautiful. No, I'll be like, you look like shit.
Yeah.
You should
You gotta keep
100%
it
stop
real,
doing
yeah.
that.
Guys, you always gotta question people's motives, man. Everybody has their own angles in life. Look at how they start and how they end up. How many people do you think will stay true when tested with money? People will follow the money. Very few people are gonna stay true. Then you have those fake mugging institutes scamming teenagers, frustrated, insecure teenagers. Oh, the Mug University, just pay, bro. We are gonna turn you into a mugger. Muggers are not made, my guy. They are born.
The confidence you have, do you attribute it to the fact that you doubled down on Looksmaxxing and said, I need to prioritize what I'm presenting, even though some of it was not your control? You can't control if you're born with dark circles.
No,
you
of
can't
course
control
not,
acne. These aren't anything you did wrong, but it's what society judges you
This
from.
is the saddening part of things. This is, at the end of the day, how society is structured. And I teach people that, hey, looks do play a role. They are one part of who you are as a person. So of course you have to take care of other things in your life. But presentation is key. People judge you in milliseconds, and I think that in this moment in time, I fixated on it. I fixed it, and I'll tell you that improving my looks isn't the reason why I'm confident. It's the process that gave me that confidence.
Of course, it is not the reason. The reason is you realize that you already had the genes to make it. Like, the improvement isn't even that big. This isn't some crazy transformation. Oh, it is the process. Spare us the BS, dude. 16-year-old emo kid with pimples goes through the puberty and realizes he was a Chad all along. I mean, he's from Syria, guys. White with blue eyes. That's the small, very small minority in Syria, in a country like Syria. And then his family had the means to dip to the United States when the Civil War broke out. You know what I'm saying? Like, Chads are not made, they are born. This guy was born lucky. It blows my mind that there are 5'6", sub-5 South Asian dudes who watch this kid and believe that they can also get there. And they go spend whatever little money they have on some mugging school. Brother, you paid that money to get mugged even further. Not only he mugged you by looks and family, he mugged you once again the moment he tricked you into paying for his racketeering scheme. Like, did it even go through any major Looksmaxxing transformation? Notice how none of those examples are some 3 out of 10, legitimately bona fide 3 out of 10, going through Looksmaxxing and becoming a normie. 6 out of 10, right? It is always some Chad who was already Chad-lite, decent looking, before Looksmaxxing. And that Looksmaxxing is always some soft stuff. And I will say this too, if you think this Syrian guy was some 3 out of 10, you don't know how to rate. I will say this very clearly, bro. That means you just rate on initial impression. You rate based on the pose, hygiene, the angle, lighting, but you can't rate on a craniofacial level. Only untrained eyes will rate this kid a 3 out of 10.
Trust me, I've been in your exact same shoes countless times.
Sure, dude. Sure you did. The only difference is you decided to take action, right? That is the only difference. Going to the gym to lower facial fat and washing your face. Wow, nobody could think of this, man.
Why only listen to me when you can actually take a look at our academy's reviews and testimonials?
It was like nothing I've ever seen.
This actually gives me Hamza vibes. Look at this picture. Some coping sub-5s paying for utter BS. Oh, don't believe me? Just listen to these guys, these testimonials, which are totally not paid actors. And I like how this guy in the middle tried to copy his hairline. Brother, sadly you cannot copy everything else just as easily. With that weak jaw and long mid-face, it only makes you look worse, actually. If you have a weak jaw and long mid-face, losing too much weight actually makes your face look even worse.
So what are you waiting for? This isn't just an invitation. It's a call to action for those that are ready to transform their lives. Everything is up to you, really. Everything.
You heard that, guys? Everything is up to you. The truth is, nothing is up to you. I mean, sure, some stuff are up to you, but what I mean is anything that matters in life, truly matters, is not up to you. Your genetic ceiling is not up to you. The family, the country you were born into is not up to you. I mean, this guy maybe was born in Syria, but his family dipped to the US when he was a little kid. What does that tell you? He comes from a relatively high status family. Nothing is up to you. That is the truth, man. But he's not gonna tell you that. He's not gonna tell that to some 5'6" South Asian dude who is just barely surviving in college, feeling lonely and just wanna get a girlfriend, right? That is the difference between me and people like him. I know some of you are gonna be like, oh, but Rehab, you are raiding faces too. The difference is, I have been raiding faces in this community when people like this kid and Wheat Waffles weren't even toilet trained. That is the difference. Intention. And two, I always tell people straight up, dude, surgeries ain't gonna fix the hole in your soul. Forget about that. And I got plenty of people mad at me for this reason. Cause you have people saying stuff like this. Oh, with enough surgeries, anyone can become an 8. I remember one dude, the dude wasn't even bad looking, right? Headlight. He's already there. He's already pretty good looking, but still chasing perfection, right? I told him, suggested to him, dude, maybe it is how we socialize, When I said that, he got mad. He was pissed off. He was like, oh, Rehab, that's enough bullshit, dude. Tell me what surgeries. I don't want to hear this socialization bullshit. Immediately tell me what surgeries. Like, people think I am gonna give them a list of surgeries and they are gonna go to the nearest grocery store with that list. It doesn't work like that. But of course, this is not what they are told by others, by bad faith actors. Or anybody can become an 8, just pay for my school. Or everything is up to you. The dude had all the potential before. A new hairstyle and squinting ain't some magical transformation, man. This is the same guy who went on Chico's show, by the way. This is why I am telling you. They are not much different than PUAs who prey on desperate sub-5 men. They figured out the new gimmick, which is looksmaxing. They were like, oh, gullible man figured out that the game doesn't work. It is all good. We are gonna play them with looks instead.
And so ever since I skimmed the community and I learned the things that they talk about. And I had known about it in 2022, late 2022. Didn't post about the word looksmax at all because I didn't want it to be a trend. A TikToker makes a video about it, got some traction, people start posting about it, now it's trending.
I even forgot that Chico's podcast was a thing. He really failed to bring spicy guests to the show after his initial first interview with Sean O'Prey. And when you go look, you see that he ain't gotten much views when he isn't talking about lookism. Cause guess what? His personality and brain was never why people were watching him. Bro, Chico, where is that Jeremy Meeks interview, man? Enough with this bullshit, Chico. Oh, I am a podcaster now. Nobody cares about your podcasting skills, dude. But of course, these guys are so full of themselves, they overestimate their own abilities at everything they do. Cause once again, they grew up getting their asses kissed by everybody in their lives. Just like Connor Murphy. He was like, oh dude, I am become a decent YouTuber. And then started complaining about not getting views. Cause you are not that guy, man. Taking your shirt off in the streets is what you are good for. The same goes for Chico. Dude, just squint and look at the camera.
Jeremy Meeks. I've never heard of.
Who's this?
Jeremy
Jeremy
Meeks, inspirational figure to appear on the Chico podcast. He will teach young men to self-improve, and he's a good guy.
I love how you guys try to troll him though. He's a good guy. We'll talk about self-improvement.
Because on my case, it's just that was always my job. Like there was never social media involved. And then it just became, and just social media just like kind of like what came out of nowhere. But even before social media, for some reason, I had like this like thing that it would attract people.
For some reason. Yeah, dude. I wonder what that reason is. For some reason, he was very likable, guys. Very weird reason. By the way, I also like how they finally listened to the criticism and gave the Asian moderator the same space on the screen. Because you are gonna remember in the first stream with the opera, it was comical. This Asian dude was in that tiny little corner. You could barely see he was even there. I mean, I know it probably wasn't Chico's call, since the Asian kid is the moderator, the one setting up the stream. Didn't want to take up space from Opera and Chico. I am glad they finally realized how ridiculous it was.
Like thing that it would attract people. It wasn't before Wattpad actually. Like when I start modeling out of nowhere, like I get like a bunch of little fans outside of the show, and no other model would have that.
Because you were the PSL god, man. The mogger among moggers. At the top of the food chain. 17-year-old Chico mugged even other models. And your strength, which is your youthful, feminine, pretty boy vibe, appealed to the type of people who would be cringy fans waiting outside, right? Teens. Oh, David Gandhi was also there. Gandhi is also good looking, of course, but his looks appeal to older women in their 20s and 30s. I mean, it blows my mind that he thinks people were there for anything other than his looks. Oh, why didn't other models have those fans then? Cause Chico, listen. Chico, listen to this. The mug never stops. That is why. The mug never stops. Even if they were models themselves, when they were next to you, they still got mugged. You're gonna remember Sean O'Pride talking about how he got mugged by Prime Chico when he first saw him in real life. The mug never stops.
You're actually on the a little shorter guys.
Yeah, I'm like 6'1.5", 6'2".
Yeah, so a lot of people ask me this question, like, oh, how tall can you be? Like, how tall, like, should you be to be a model? I think your height is a perfect height. Because
until I'm standing next to you in the line and you say you're 6'1", I walk in, they're like, you're not 6'1", you're 5'10", and I'm like, damn it.
Like, what? Why you guys are doing this? Like that was the big imposter syndrome, because I was 17 years old coming out of a show. There was no social media yet. There was only Facebook, and maybe.
So why do you think they were doing that? That's my question.
I don't know.
Those chicks must have sensed your good personality, man. That must have been why.
David Gandhi right next to me. There was like a row of murders of handsome guys, like literally one next to the other, and they were just wanted to go see me. I don't know what he was. That's the thing. If you're talking
was there Wattpad at the time or no?
No, at the time there was no Wattpad. If you're talking about beauty himself, like, that was a list of names. Guys, they're like established guys. I was just starting my career. There were guys like very established models coming out of the same door as me, but like nobody were there for them. They were there for me, and I just couldn't understand why me.
Dude, none of those girls cared about your career or accomplishments. And like I said, your niche appeals to the type of people who are lifeless enough to go to the shows and fangirl models. Teenagers. Teens won't swarm David Gandhi or overly masculine models. Those models appeal to usually older women in their 20s and 30s.
Aren't you like kind of surprised what's happening with like the looksmaxing niche?
I am. I mean, that's the thing. I always had a crazy following, right? But like that crazy following kind of died down because I grew up. I had my life.
You had a family,
I have my family, amazing, kids. I move around.
It is because of that. Not that you started balding and lost your youthful pretty boy vibe. The dude is on finasteride, by the way.
I had a problem with my hair. I'm on medicines right now, like making sure my hair stays on.
Finasteride, Propecia?
Yeah.
Reaper claimed his fans. Guys, Reaper didn't spare even Chico. And if it wasn't for the lookism community, his career wasn't the dust. Chico was done. PSL community revived his career.
I got away to fashion modeling. I started doing a lot more commercials, so that's a lot less spotlight on it. So like my following was like going down until the Gen Z found me, and they start finding all these old videos of me at 17, 18, 19.
And you can tell the fact that he's not getting the kind of attention he used to get in his earlier days is getting to his head. He hopped on finasteride. He's not getting the major offers he used to get during his prime. Women stopped approaching him on the streets. Now it is men taking pictures with him on the streets. And you know that is bothering him. Now it is Hamza fans. Hamza viewers are taking pictures with him.
A lot of people ask like, oh, like you're still a model. Like, when are you going to retire? Or like, when are you going to do something else? What's your plan for the future?
Chico,
all those dumbass questions.
I tried to retire.
You can actually realize it during Sean O'Pride interview as well. Those "are you still modeling?" questions are really bothering Chico. H-pill is brutal when you rely on your teenager pretty boy appeal. Meanwhile, Sean O'Pride is much more comfortable with getting older. I mean, don't get me wrong, Chico still looks good, of course. He's a winner in life. I am sure he's all set financially, has children. But he ain't at the top of the food chain anymore. He's not the mogger among other moggers anymore. When I said that in the comments, a lot of yous were like, oh, dude, Rehab, stop coping, dude. He's winning. Of course he's still winning. He could cut off his left arm right now, and he would still be winning. Still would be better looking than me and you, combined. But he's not comparing himself to the oofy doofy on the street. He's reminiscing about his youth, his prime days, when he would step outside and would be swarmed by chicks. Now he steps foot outside and he's swarmed by the mock community. Hamza viewer looking guys. Delusional dudes who dream of becoming a mogger. Not knowing that moggers are not made, they are born.
With the whole Looksmaxxing community.
It was women with you, no? And then now it's men.
Yeah. It was like heavily women. Heavily. And now it's heavily, and now it's split. And it's like now men's are more like overwhelmingly. And for some reason, on my Instagram, India took over.
Indians took over Connor Murphy's channel as well. Indians go watch Chico and Connor Murphy when they should be watching me. Guys, imagine the length we would reach with the power of India, with the help of India. But instead, they go watch Connor Murphy and Chico.
But then kind of gave up very quickly. But now they're in a different industry, but it's close to modeling. So they still model, for example, actors or whatever. They still think models cannot like make good money just because they couldn't, but they could as an actor. So it's kind of like, no, man, you just failed. Sorry.
Chico, bro, they just couldn't be as positive and committed as you are. That is what it is. That is why they failed. All those people failed and you didn't, and the reason is this.
No, man, you just failed. Sorry.
I didn't even know he was still making podcasts and these streams. I came across this when I was researching this so-called mogging school. And really, this kid isn't the only one. Maybe a bigger one of the bigger ones, but there are countless copycats of him. It is actually crazy that lookism got as popular and as big as it did.
The rise of something called looksmaxing. It's a TikTok trend taking hold of men seeking to maximize their physical appearance. The hashtag looksmax has over 4.6 billion with a B views. That's on TikTok alone.
The whole thing being this mainstream just blows my mind, man. And I know what you're thinking. You're gonna say, oh, Rehab, weren't you trying to spread the information? Why is it a problem now? Guys, the problem is the unintended consequences. It creates bad faith actors. And really, it is a double-edged sword of this information becoming more available, more mainstream. Popularity always attracts hyenas and certain types of people. Just like piranhas smelling blood, they are drawn into this. And pay attention to their rhetoric, guys. Looks matter, but only the ones you can change. Because it doesn't fit their agenda otherwise. These type of lookism channels are always funny, man. They keep talking about fashion, dressing, how important it is. But when you start mentioning race or height or something that cannot be changed easily otherwise, they are like, oh, come on, that is not important. It is 2024. People are colorblind. Of course. You can't sell an ethnic background rating service. Just look at how many cringe looksmaxing schools, mogging channels there are on face, and how many mogging channels there are on height. That should tell you all you need to know. Because then again, it comes down to money. Their mentality is this. Just make them believe that if they improve their dress and hairstyle, their background doesn't matter. Oh, it is all about how you dress. Because if you believe that no matter how short you are, how ugly you are, your swag can be enough, you will pay. Funny, they will make video after video on fashion and hairstyle, but if you talk about traits that cannot be changed, they get mad at you. Oh, that doesn't matter. Rehab, you have a non-productive mindset. That is why those channels will never talk about the true lookism aspects. They won't be talking about the whole eternity of lookism. If you think your height and background doesn't matter, then you will pay for whatever they are selling. The truth is, the traits that you cannot change easily matter much more than the ones you can change easily, because they signal genetic traits that women can pass down to their children. Women will know other stuff can be fake or can be easily obtained otherwise. That is why eye color is such an underrated aspect of looks. And I truly believe that blue eyes add a major halo in one's looks, especially if you are not from the West. I am not saying having a low body fat is not important, but not as important as genetic traits. Anybody can lose weight by hitting the gym or eating less. Not even hitting the gym is necessary, just by eating less. So, you want a quick litmus test? Just look at if they are talking about background or height to see if one is real. Are they talking about stuff you cannot change so easily? But of course, you know how it is, man. People follow the money, and those self-identified Looksmaxxers will say anything to fill their pockets. Or with big enough budget for plastic surgeries, anyone can become an 8. Or dating as a man is better because we can Looksmax. People follow the money, and they will do anything to lead you astray. But you know, these times will pass. I am sure of this. It is a fact. Scammers always move on to the next big thing. Meanwhile, we're still gonna be here. You and me, we are gonna be here. So I am just waiting for this fad to pass, really. In the meantime, provide value in life, and sooner or later, the sham will be casted away. Like that verse I like to quote. The foam can only stay on the top of the river for so long. It will be cast away sooner or later. But water, what is beneficial to mankind, will always stay on land. These times will pass too, guys. Don't worry about it. But until then, don't be a free agent in life.